Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from beautiful Daytona Beach. I should say cold Daytona Beach at the moment. I shouldn't complain because I know in Ontario, Canada, which is where we're from, it's quite cold over there too. But
Lots
when
of
you're at the
snow.
beach, we like to have the nice sunny days, and it's been between -3 Celsius. Again, I'm in Celsius degrees here, all the way up to maybe 11 or 12. So
Well, it's not the minuses during the day, of course. Yeah.
now, during the sometime, there's some days we might hit, the 20s, but
Yeah.
what that would be, I guess, between, I don't know, 45, 42 Fahrenheit, all the way up to maybe mid 60s or whatever. Okay, well, folks, welcome to this session this morning. We really want to focus on the understanding, now again, not complicated, folks, understanding what you're getting financially. So we want to give you a simple overview of the compensation plan, but in the same time to give you kind of the lay of the land as to where you can access this information. And folks, I really recommend to do your homework. And by the way, these calls are always recorded. These are live sessions, and once the live session is done, it is automatically saved into the YouTube channel. But just before we begin, I just want to have a chance for everybody to kind of come in and have a chance to say hello. It's nice to see where you are from, folks. It's really cool when everybody here in the audience can see people from all over the planet actually getting involved in this wonderful digital company called GotBackup, where GBU is the parent company. As you know, if you've been following the presentation, there's many different products, and it's something really cool that's coming very soon. I can tell you, folks, that it looks awesome with the social media, which is going to be massive to generate leads to help you grow your business. And I think once this goes mainstream, I think that you're going to see some massive growth within the GotBackup community. So let's welcome Enionam from Accra, Ghana. Welcome. I know you were the very first one to post this morning. Nice to see you. We have here Johnny from Ghana. Welcome. Marie-Paul from beautiful Ottawa, Canada. I know it's a little cold on your end. I cannot believe Toronto, Ottawa, they're like 4 hours apart, or depending how fast you drive, let's say 4.5 hours to 5. And you could have -7 in, again, Celsius in Toronto and -17 in Ottawa. Explain that to me. There's no mountain. There's nothing in between. So it's kind of weird. Anyway, back to presentation.
Chris is stuck on the weather today.
I like the warm weather. I like to feel warm. MC from Texas, great to see you. Welcome. We have Marvin from Vegas. Great to see you here. We have Bruce from Yulee, Florida. Welcome. Let's see here. We have Jeremy. Great to see you here. We have Tennessee. Welcome from Claymont, Florida. Let's see. We have Rob. Great to see you from New Jersey. We have Guylaine de Quebec. Bienvenue. We have Benjamin. Great to see you from Ghana. We have Buddy. Great to see you here. And yes, there will be a replay. And Claude and Pawan, great to see you here from India. Welcome. And again, folks, we certainly appreciate you. And, if you like the information you hear today, folks, just smash that like button. It just tells the algorithm that this is a training that people like. And the key here is if we can educate people on how they benefit from their efforts with GotBackup, you will find that everybody will do better. In a sense that if the company does better, we all do better because we all benefit within a compensation plan, because the way this works is the company shares up to 75% of its profit revenue within a compensation plan. So if the profit revenue increases, well, guess what? The cycles increases. If the cycle increases and you increase your cycles, then your income increases, and all the bonuses that are all reflected from the percentage that comes from that 75%, which we'll touch briefly a little bit later on. Anything else, Tammy, you want to add to this?
No, I just noticed more people are joining us, so welcome everybody. And Chris, do you want to start with, because there's so many new people that are signing up on a regular basis. Every time you go to Facebook for the platform, you see that Joel and Mike are always introducing the new people. So maybe just a basic run through for the new people to get a feel for the back office. Can you start
okay.
with that?
Let's do that. Let me share my screen and I thought I did that. No, I
Yeah.
didn't put the share screen yet. Just one moment.
And it's good for everybody, that refresher. And, as you start building out your network, you're going to need to know where things are. So that's the first thing that Chris and I do when we're learning something. We go through the fundamentals, because the fundamentals are what need to be transferred to people that are coming on board, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
What they're
So
doing.
let me just
And
see, Tammy, if I should go full screen here so people can see a bit more of the information. We'll come back in a sec. But this is what your screen looks like. I mean, this is what your back office looks like. You got your next billing date over here. You can see that in November 5th, 2026 is my billing date. You can get the billing information over here. On the top over here, you have your rank, you have your support. This is very important, folks. If you need any help of any kind, just make sure you create a ticket. And then I'm not going to get into that today, but there's many trainings, and I'll point you to where you can go and reference these trainings in a minute. This here is your ID with all your details, your account information, your billing information, all of these things. Obviously, I'm not going to show this for obvious reasons. Um, on the left hand side over here, you have your welcome screen. If you're brand new here, you've never been into this back office, you're a little bit disoriented, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, start with this. Okay. So start by watching the big video over here. And there's the GotBackup dashboard here, the promotional tool, the comp plan overview. Now, I don't know how detailed you may get, how much detail you, but that's what today is all about. Okay. So we'll cover the compensation plan overview and enough for you to really understand what you need to do and how you benefit from every step that you go forward. And Tammy, feel free to interrupt me if you need to step in with anything. Sometimes I could go on a little.
yeah, so basically the simple setup that we share in our presentations, and also the links. Where do they access the links to
Yeah.
start
Okay.
marketing? Yeah.
So this is all. This is the marketing tool. So if you click here, that little arrow going up and down, you can see the marketing tools will expand. And by default, this is the main product. This is really the flagship product that GotBackup, well, GVO, which is the parent company that owns GotBackup, and all of these other tools. And there's another one coming really soon. Really excited about this. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the social media platform where you can actually pre-post all of your posts. You can actually select a library of videos and you can post them. You can share some things. You can put that into your Facebook pages, all of that. And I know I'm talking about something that's not here yet, but it will eventually appear and you'll be able to access it here.
And
But
you'll
right,
only see that if you are a Got Backup Pro member.
yes, correct.
Otherwise,
Thank you,
you're going
Tammy.
to see that. Yeah, you won't see everything that Chris is showing you there, except for the basics that he's going to show you.
Mhm.
But if you're become a pro member, which is it's an additional $10 a month when you think about it,
Yeah.
depending on where we live in the world and where you go for your coffee. But a couple coffees in your membership is paid for. So one thing that Chris and I have always done is invest in ourselves, invest in our learning, invest in courses so you can better yourself, better your skills, invest in your business. This is investing in your business. And your business has so many tax deductions. So don't always think about what's going out. Think about the return on your investment. What are you going to get if you invested in yourself to learn some better skills? What are you going to get if you did this? You know what I mean? So that's the way you have to think. That's the way entrepreneurs think, by the
Yeah,
way.
that is an understatement. Is how can you benefit from whatever you spend that money? Okay.
Mhm.
And you have to think more like an entrepreneur, less like a consumer. It's okay to be a consumer, folks, but if all you do is consume, then you're always going to be chasing the money to be able to keep up your lifestyle. Now back to the tools here. You see, Got Backup is over here. All the details are here. These are use your tools. Again, you click on that, and all the software that you need to install. There's two pieces of software you really want. The one for the computer, that's a standalone desktop or laptop that you have, where it backs up all the data. And every single Wednesdays, you can go back to any of the presentation, even some of the trainings where we give you a back office overview. It's all in there. Okay. So I'm not going to click here for now, but really important. The other thing here is you have the reseller tools. This is where, depending on language you want, and if the language is not here, folks, then you have this tool called a custom funnel builder. Okay. Now you have to be a pro member for that. Keep that in mind, folks. That's $19.97 a month. Personally, I would pay for the year. I would not deal month to month. It's a lot more. There's a lot more common sense as a business entrepreneur with GotBackup, because instead of chasing people, hey, your auto ship didn't go through this month. What happened? Well, in this case, they pay one time and it qualifies them for the next 12 months. And you qualify every month with that person with your cycles and your bonuses and everything else. It's just, I highly recommend, folks, yearly. If you go monthly, obviously at the beginning it might be, but maybe you sign up from someone that you don't know, from Adam, and you're not sure if it's real. I say I don't mind spending the $10 or the $20, whatever, and then plus the to get started, and then go monthly until you say, okay, now I see what this is all about. I love it. Then you can upgrade. But generally, folks, I highly recommend to go yearly. Now, back to these tools over here. If you go to English, you will have all of the marketing tools to promote. You don't have to create websites, create funnels, all of these things. Not that it's a bad thing, because everything has a place depending on what you're trying to accomplish. But this here, I'm just going to click on it because I think it's worth the time to talk about it. When you go there, what's going to happen is these are the websites. We call them capture pages. It's kind of a fancy name for a website, really. All it is, it's a one pager that you promote into your social media and everything else. I would recommend to pick one of those links. I personally recommend this one over here. This one is generic. I know it's a bit of a cartoonish video, but if you prefer maybe someone, the ones that they can try it for 7 days for free. This one has the product and the business. This one has just product for people that may be a little bit resistant to the industry of network marketing until they understand the real benefit. You can use these links over here. You can see here I create a little domain that you can also create. I'm not going to get into all that today, but that's the one that I use personally. Actually, I use my domain, and it's in all of my social media, my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook page. Why is it there? It's because I'm preparing to promote in these pages the posts and the videos and everything else that Joel's been talking about. And when you get to my page and you go into the about, then my links are there. Okay, so that's what I recommend here. Anything else you want to add to this, Tammy?
No, it's perfect.
Okay. So from there, so this is the reseller tools. Okay. Now, one thing that's important is extra promo tool. I want to spend a minute here. I think I put it here already. No, we'll come back to that. Yeah. So when you click on, let me just get rid of some. Okay. We talked about this. Okay. So when you click on extra promo tools, okay. And if I go too fast, folks, don't worry about it. You can go back and listen to this again. You can pause it and just breathe and just try it and play again. Okay, this is what I recommend. So back to this link here, extra promotional tool. It will take you to this page exactly like this. Okay, and when you click on that, what's going to happen? It's going to bring the compensation plan. Okay, and all the details here. I will come back to that in a minute. Okay, and because I've already imported it into our StreamYard, so I'll just remove it out of here. But the fact is, you have access to that. Okay, so it's very straightforward. Again, you click on this link, extra promotional tool, and it's here. Now, one thing I'd like to point out too is, the videos that we start with when we do a presentation. Some of you are wondering, well, where can I access these videos? Well, I think let's see here, social media, training video, promotional video. I think it might be, no, not this one. I did this a while back. I think promo content, English. Okay. So they are here. And I think on the video extras, yeah, you see Emily? You might recognize that sound. Okay. So this is where I get everything I need. So everything that we use when we present, when we train, I always use tools that are already available within your grasp. So you don't need to create anything to duplicate what we do. And this is done by design, because Tammy and I have built organization and mammoth organization. There's a reason for that. It's because we focus on things that people can access and duplicate. We don't create things that you need to go for school for 6 months to be able to figure out so you can come back here and do the work. We know that's not going to stick. So everything we do has to be accessible and has to be duplicatable and easy for people to access. This is how you create duplication. So
Yeah,
back
and there's a
to
question here, Chris,
uh-huh.
quickly. Will there be more marketing tools for a memory place? Um, we're not sure. We've never asked that question, but it's definitely something you can send a message to customer support
Yeah.
and ask them. Mhm.
Yeah, I do recommend that. We don't have all the answers. We do try to get them, but I don't know about the marketing material, what's coming and everything else. But of
Yeah.
course, if there's enough, I can tell you folks, if there's enough of demand, let's say all of you would like to have some more marketing things for the memory place, you just go to your support here and issue a ticket. Which,
Mhm.
by the way, if you happen to be a cloud member for GotBackup and you want to increase to the pro, same thing. Go to your support. You don't have to ask your upline or your leader or whatever. Just click here and simply say, "I'd like to upgrade to a pro," and they will walk you through the process for you to upgrade. And the fact is, your financial information might already be stored into the back office. Make sure that the money is there in the event that you use one of those bank credit card. The point is, they will go through the transaction and automatically things are done for you. So one thing is, GotBackup is really convenient. There's a lot of things that are there that you don't even need to worry about. It's kind of automatic. So going to the support and make a request, I assure you they will attend to you. The more people are in the pro, the more the company will do better. But in the same time, the more access you have to all these wonderful tools for you to be able to grow your business. Anything else, Tammy?
Yeah, another question about the French. We recommend to go through what there's available in the languages in the extra tools. And obviously, when you go into the website and you change it to your language, go through and see what's available right there.
Mm-hmm.
If there's things that are missing and you're looking for things, ask support. You have to ask. If you want something in life, you got to ask. And if they don't have it, they might put it on the list to prepare something. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how soon you would get it, but you got to ask.
Agreed. Okay, so let's move on to the purpose of this call. But I think this is very important. Actually, before we do that, I think very important, folks, that if you're not familiar with your business, you should really look into all of this. And a very important thing, folks, you want to get paid, right? You do the work, you want to get paid. Make sure that you go to your commission payment options. There's two options to get paid. There's Pay Quicker and Wise. I prefer Pay Quicker, me personally, because I find there's more flexibility, where if Wise is a bit more constrained. But some of you maybe have been using Wise for many, many years for other reasons, then just use that account. Okay, so the fact is, set that up. Once this is set up, then from there, it's just a simple process and following the steps for you to get your payments. And then you can go into your bank account, or you can use one of their credit cards that are pay credit cards. This could be great for markets that are international. To keep things in US dollars, you get paid. So these are things that you can ask into the support. Okay. The other thing that's important here, let's move out of here because we've done other trainings when it comes to your business, your internal wallet. This is a very powerful tool. If someone does not have a credit card, there's many markets. A credit card may not be as easy to access as it is some other markets. Then they can pay you in cash. You can take the money, put it in your bank account, and just do a payment to your credit card in advance. So the payment sits there, or do it after, whatever. And then this will give you an opportunity to create a link with whatever package you want that the person's paying you for, and then you're kind of pro signing them up. In other words, they pay you cash and you provide them the link. Once they have the link, they just need to click the link and follow the process, and they become a member. Okay. And when it comes to positioning people in the tree, again, we have some trainings on that. We'll point out to you, because when people sign up, they won't show in your business right away. They end up into a holding tank. And that's to give you an opportunity about 3 days to decide, do you want to put them on the right or do you want to put them on the left? Where do you want them? And then you click that little position there, that little gray button or gray body, and then it will show you all the people that are in a holding tanks, and you select which one you want, and then it will position any order that you chose to place them. Okay, so if let's say 6 people signed up, and that sixth person is on the bottom, if you select the sixth person, well, they'll end up on the tree before the other five. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot, and we have plenty of trainings on that, and also there's a lot of little. When you see a little orange little button on the top right corner, that's usually a video that you can watch with more information. In fact, there's another place I'll show you. If you click on frequently asked questions, okay, this is a powerful one because there's a lot of questions here. Is, for example, which one, Tammy, you're often referring
Number
to?
5 is the holding tank.
Yeah, the holding
That was the
tank.
first
That's
thing
what
I
was
did to
talking
learn how to position people.
It's all here. Folks,
Yeah.
like I said, there's nothing missing. The only thing missing is might be you that is not really looking at the information and you're just waiting for answers. You don't have to. You just can go and get them. And this is where you get. I mean, there's nothing missing here. Everything is in here. Okay. And the last point on this page here is the Facebook group. This is important, folks, because when you click on that, I think it's this one over here I did in advance. Yeah. This here is your community. This is what's happening around the globe. Okay. So this should be 50, 70, 100,000 members here. So most people are not here. So it's very, very important. And you can see the people that, so Mike is posting them regularly. Unfortunately, in my case, I posted my training this morning a little bit too late. Tammy keeps reminding me, did you put in a poll? Did you put in a group? Did you put in a group? Okay, so it's sitting here. So just understand that as soon as Mike sees that, it'll approve it, and then it will show here, and then you'll be able to access it also here. So we tend to put our Wednesday presentation and Saturday training on here. Okay. And then from there, I suggest that you look at information and just if someone, for example, did something that you appreciate, or someone did, we have a new emerald over here. Congratulations, Jeff. Right here. In fact, what I like to do when I see that is I save these and in my download, and then I will add it to the Wednesday presentation. Right? Really, really cool. Okay. So I don't know if I brought it up here, because I do have it on the screen. So anyway, okay. So from there, this is, again, very important. Connect here. And the VIP coaching program, this is a bit more hand-holding. And as a matter of fact, Tammy and I are going to be doing a training on, we do one training every month, plus there's about 6 trainings there they're courses that you can listen to that are very, very helpful. I'm just going to give you an example for those of you that are not familiar with this. That is the account that you will have. I'm just going to log in here. And once you're there, you have a community to be able to communicate with. Okay. So there's 3 messages I need to follow up on here, but you can see here that there's a course. And when you click on the courses, there's courses on Breakthrough Blueprint, Email Marketing by Jewel, Emotional Intelligence, Success Cycle Series. These are the actual models. If you have no clue what to do and you're completely lost, this is a good place to spend time in learning. The other thing that we do, as I mentioned, is we have once a month. Remember, folks, it's $10 a month here, so right, there's a lot offered for that. We do some trainings. This year it was called a reset protocol. We're starting the year. If you have some challenges dealing with emails, what to do and how to handle the emails, Tammy did a great training over here, and the template emails over here. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
And Joel did a great training on attractive character. We've done some segment on attributes of leadership, which is a really important aspect. You know, if you want to have solid residual income, you want people that can actually lead others. And that's, again, what we're talking about here. So these are all the clues. These are all the things, how to build a solid foundation. Folks, it's not just about signing people and hope that they're going to stick for the long term. People need a community to be able to understand what they need. Go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, to learn and grow. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Okay. So this is what's in your back office over here. The last thing I think it's important, the 2 things is, this is the YouTube channel. That's another thing that I suggest that you subscribe. Why? Because whenever that channel posts a presentation, a meeting, a training, you get a notification from YouTube. And that, if your team is on that, then your entire team gets automatically notified when something's coming up. So what's the no, let me rephrase that. What is it that you're trying to do to accomplish the results of having a great income? Is you want duplication, you want autonomy, you want people to be independent, not always dependent on what you do. And often people that are amateurs in the network marketing arena, they do everything, they attend to everything, and God forbid if they choose to take a vacation for a couple of days, everything stops. Why? Because they feel if you're not there, they can't move forward. That is not a good way to build a good residual income. The key is goes back to attributes of leadership. How do you transcend the information? How do you look for leaders? It's all there. Now, back over here, we have all these trainings, okay? And we have these playlists so you don't have to go through every single things that are here, but you go to the playlist and you would say, okay, this is the sessions that we do on Saturday. There was a question, is the call recorded? Well, they're here. Every single things that we do live, they will remain there. And you can see here, cloud storage, backup, residual income explained. The reason why we bring this often is because people tend to get lost a little bit and they don't go back to the recordings. And we're trying to educate the world, the GotBackup world, on how do you benefit from all of these. These are fundamentals. Again, this is duplication. This is a really good training. Build to last. Very, very powerful training. There's other ones over here. Reset, refocus, build a strong 2026. I don't think there's anything missing here. You know, when people are offering, $30,000 a year courses and $10,000 courses and $5,000 courses, folks, I'm not kidding. Tammy and I have done all this stuff and then some. And all that information that we've acquired over the decades, it's all embedded into these little lessons. It's all there. There's nothing missing. So we're pointing this out to you to help you identify the areas that you need to spend time in to learn the process so you can have the success that you desire. Anything else, Tammy, on that?
I'm just looking at the comments. And so when it comes to the holding tank, if you don't position them, they do get positioned. I believe it's 72 hours you have.
Yeah, it's 3 days, 72 hours.
Yeah, to get them positioned. And if people don't position them or they don't go to their back office and they don't even know somebody just signed up, I mean, they're going to be positioned for you. So make sure that you check your business. This is your business, you guys. You got to treat this. If you want to make a lot of money in this business, you got to treat it like you're already there. Okay, you got to show up. It's like if you opened a storefront, are you going to show up and open the door so clients can come in? This is what we do. It's just a different concept, right? It's online, and you got to know what you have. You got to be serious about your business. If you want to make money, you got to be serious.
Agreed.
If you just play with it and treat it like a hobby, don't expect to make a lot of money. You know, a lot of people are sold to on social media. It's insane. All the stuff that you really, really don't have to do anything, and you have to. You have
Agreed.
to learn. You
Another
really
tool,
do.
yeah, another tool that we want to point out you too. We've designed this for you. Again, it goes back to the concept of duplication, right? Tammy and I are trying to build an empire, and the bigger the empire gets, the more overwhelming requests, demands, support, help. And if you don't have something for people to park in to be able to sit and learn and evolve, then your life becomes unbearable. And it's one of the reasons why people sometimes say, I can't handle this. I can't do this business. If you feel that way, you're doing something wrong. Because if you understand the process of duplication and all the trainings are there, and the VIP we talked about here, there is more than enough for you to really understand the concept of what we're doing, because we go into the inner details about how we have been living our lives to get the results we're having. Some people think we're lucky. No, it's by design, folks. So what you're looking at here is a board. And if you don't know, we'll give you access to this. This is something that Tammy and I spent a lot of time. Just a sec here. Copy. Put in the comment. Control V. There we go.
And while Chris is doing that, John's just posting some messages. Subscribe to the channel, you guys, so you get notifications. And that's when sometimes we need those reminders. We all get busy. But unless you're extremely organized, like Chris and I are extremely organized for our life, so we know when things are happening, if we're taking a course or whatever, everything is scheduled for us. So we know when it's happening. But if you're not organized like that, and it's easy the day goes by and it's, oh man, I just missed the training.
Yeah.
Obviously it's recorded, but when you're live, you're more engaged when you're live.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Now, what you're looking at here, this is the board. I've just put the link here, and we're doing this to really help you because we understand that not everybody's in our business. But I know there's a lot of people say, I wish I can get some support. Well, here it is, folks. This is all generic. There is nothing that points to Tammy and I. This is generic stuff. So if you click on English, now we're working on the Spanish and the French is coming also. The reason is that there's a lot of work that's being done here. And you can see there's quite a few buttons. Okay.
Yeah,
now
I cleaned it up.
I want to prepare you where the board is free. It will, every company's right. They're trying to increase the bottom line. So they're always going to set it up as if you have to pay. You can have access to 2 boards that is free. Now, for them to have a reason for living, they need to get paid. So the people that are going to be targeted are people that may have teams like Tammy and I, and that creates a system for their team to be able to access. And you're looking at about a little over $100. I forgot the exact amount, but a year. Okay. A year.
But you don't need to do that to access this.
You do not need to do that.
No.
The point I want to let you know, so you're not caught by surprise. Oh, I can't use that. He asked me to pay. No, you don't have to. You can have 2 boards that are free. Now, once you're here, getting started right, we're not going to get into these buttons here, but building your business, signing up with GotBackup, how to make money, recognition rank, social media posts, credit card payments, setup commission, reseller. What was that, Tammy, again? FU?
Yeah, follow-up emails. Because I did a training. I did it in the VIP, but I believe we did it here. And I promised that I would give the group some of the emails that we were creating, because these emails are not created. And so you got to go back to the email marketing training to learn how to create emails. And once you do that, you'll see on the campaign, Chris is not going to go into it because it's just too much. Mm-hmm. And we really want to focus on the compensation plan, at least have the basic fundamentals. Correct. Where you have those down pat. But there you can access the emails that we created. The moment somebody signs up in our team, we have our welcome letter. We have instructions on what they need to do, the steps. They have the boards app. They have the Telegram. They have everything to plug in as a community. And that's what's here, getting started right. And if you have your email set up, they're gonna get the information. Yes. So I'm creating them, to be honest with you. Chris and I we're doing some more AI and cloning because we're just overwhelmed with the stuff that we need to do, and we want to be able to be part of the progress of what's happening in the world today, and we're cloning ourselves. So we've been doing video content, we've been doing setups, the photos, the audio. So that was a lot of work to do. We're done the fundamentals. So now I can go back and put a couple more emails in there. But just so you know, it's always evolving, that group. So don't think that, oh, I've been through the boards, I know what's on there. There'll always be evolution in everything.
Let's give everybody an example how we're evolving in cloning yourself. I want to show you something that's really interesting. Let's check this out. Okay. Now, folks, this is a trial. It's a draft. So don't be too critical. Okay. So let's check this out together. 1 second.
Yeah. Well, Chris is doing that. John, just so you know, the VIP coaching is, you go to the bottom on the left bar on your back office, and you can see it on the bottom. You just click on it and it gives you information.
Yeah. So let me go back and remove that and add this. So I want to show you what the power of AI as it evolves. Let's check this out together. Hey, Christian Jingra, your digital twin is ready. Try creating videos with it.
Can't
Also,
hear it, Chris.
button to share what you think. Hope you enjoy. Did you say you can't hear?
No,
Did you say you can't hear, Tammy?
no, we cannot hear you.
Okay. You know what? I think there is. If I don't see that very quickly, audio.
Yeah, we
I think
plan on doing a lot of got backup
yeah.
stuff,
So
so
I'm
we're pretty
speaking. You
excited.
know what? We'll forget this because that's beside the point. The fact is, speaking three languages. I'm speaking English, Spanish, and Japanese. It's absolutely awesome. So anyway, so let's go back to the purpose of this call here. So the fact is that to add to the point of Tammy is now we're going to be cloning ourselves. And what we're going to do is we're going to be doing some God backup marketing videos talking about everything that we talk about, but in a perfect environment in many languages. We'll start with English, of course. And because I'm French, I'll do the French also. I'm looking for how the translation works with the AI. And then that's going to be utilized in our social media posts to get more leads. So just want to let you know where we're going with that. And of course, what we do is we'll tell you how we do it, but you have to figure this out, but we'll point you in the right direction. Now, let's go back to the compensation plan. And this is exactly what we want to cover here, because this is really, really important. When you look at your opportunity here, let's go to the slide that we get right into the comp plan right over here. Okay. So there are 7 ways that we get paid in God Backup. And you can see this document here. And again, for those of you that just joined in, go back to the beginning and I show you where you can access this document. It's in your back office. And then from there, what you can do is, oh, sorry, 1 second, one over here. So what you can do is just kind of walk yourself through this. And in fact, if you go to full compensation plan training back, I don't know, maybe a year ago or so, or close to 18 months ago, I explained step by step from 1 to 7 here, just so you know. And from there, it gives you an idea of how do you benefit from the ranks from a copper to a silver to a gold, and what you qualify for in all the 7 ways we get paid. It's all there. Okay. So when you look at this over here on the 7 ways we get paid, obviously, when we present this, we don't overwhelm you with the amount of data that are there. We kind of walk you through to the customer acquisition bonus that Tammy does often. Okay. We're not going to go through this in details here, but well, maybe Tammy, maybe there's new people here. Maybe you want to cover that briefly. What happens when you sponsor someone into God Backup and the options available to them?
Yeah, so they have 2 choices. They'll either pick the family plan or they'll pick the pro plan once they go to your link. And if they decide to pay monthly, then it's $9.97. We round it off just to make it simple to explain. So 10 on a $10 item, you're getting 200% up front. And so you're going to get $20. That's rounding it off. It's 19 something. So if they pay yearly upfront, which is what most people will do, you'll get 50% of that. And then anything that people buy ongoing, you'll get 25%. And so the pro plan is, you can see there, it's $200. And that's when they sign up as a pro from your link. Okay. And what they do, and I thought this was really cool that they did this, because often the person who brought you in is guiding you. If they're not, you got a whole platform to learn from, but they'll also get the 50 and the person who sponsored them will get the 50. So it really teaches people, encourages them to support the people that you're bringing in. Okay. And then teach them how to support their people and teach them how to support their personal people.
Let's give them the example, Tammy, for folks
grow.
that might be new.
Yeah. So an example, if you had 20 people and they all signed up yearly, all 20 of them, you're going to make $1,000 in commissions. And if you had 20 customers, all they want to do is use the storage, the data storage, then you're going to make $50 commission every single month ongoing as long as they're active, of course. And then the pro plan, you can see if you had $2,200 upfront for each person, you're going to make $4,000 in commissions. And you can see customers for people who just want to use all these marketing tools, generate leads for themselves, but don't really want to do business. You're gonna make $100 ongoing in commission. So it's really, really simple, you guys. And I think that it's really important to constantly bring people into your business, because that upfront money is really good money. And I know everybody today, if they knew that they could make this kind of money upfront, they'd be out there running and building their businesses, sharing their links with everybody, right?
So understand that when we say here 75%, it's 75% of the accumulated profit in that month. The company will take that and it's divided into the compensation plan in this fashion. So what Tammy talked about here, the CAB is customer acquisition bonus. 25% of the 70, so 1/3 of what they pay is paid upfront. That's a lot of money. Okay, so that's where the money comes from. Because some of you may say, well, how did they can afford all of it? Everything is based on percentage. Okay, so again, it's 25% from that will actually pay you some of these commission that Tammy just talked to you about. Then after that, there's a cycle earning and a cycle match. Okay, so this is the cycles and the matching cycle. 37% out of that 75% allocation is actually embedded into the comp plan. So if I go back to the comp plan, let me just go back there. Okay. So what I did, again, that was Tammy just explained. And again, if you want to just show up to our presentations on Wednesday and Fridays. Now, I know there's other leaders doing presentations. I'm not sure if, obviously there might be different approach on how they present, but generally everybody will talk about the money at one point. Mm-hmm. So what's happening here is this is a cycle earning, and it's a 2-team structure. There's a left team and there's a right team. So the way this work here is you're going to see an indirect. What's the indirect means? Well, understand that you have 2 space to position people on the left and on the right. What happens when there's a third one? What happens if you sponsor 20 people? Well, they're all going to be divided on either left or right. You choose. Or if, let's say, there's a lot of people on one side because someone is building a business with you, above you, and your right side is what you need to build, you may want to have 2 or 3 on the bigger side because you want to make sure there's always someone active there. And on the right side, where there's nobody because you're starting to build, you may want to focus your energy there until you start creating a balance. And that's when you start figuring out, okay, one's going to go to right, one's going to left, to keep the balance left and right, because you want that balance to maximize your income. Now, that's the strategy in a cycle earning. So to get a better understanding of this, where it becomes very interesting is you start earning cycles. Cycles means that if, let's say, you have 6 people in your business, well, first of all, to qualify is you need to be active. You cannot pay for your service and expect to get paid. Okay. So, and again, the service is inexpensive, folks. It's crazy. We know what's out there. We know how expensive, things are. So for $10 a month or $20 a month, which I recommend to pay yearly, right? So then you qualify for 12 months. That's how you can make sure that you receive a payment every single month for the next 12 months when someone pays for the year. Now, what happens here is the moment you enroll one on the left, one on the right, that is the step 2 to qualify to start earning this bonus. Okay, that's the number 2 bonus. But number 3, okay, now you need a total of 6 people in a ratio of 4-2. What I mean by that is one side has to have at least 4 people, and the other side 2 people. And 2 people has to come from you, one on the right, one on the left. The rest could come from someone above you. You could bring all 6, or you can bring the 2 from the 2. It evolves to 6. You understand? And this is how the duplication starts occurring. And my question to you, well, how many cycles you want? Well, how much duplication is happening in your business? So the fact here is the amount paid per cycle will vary monthly based on the company's profitability and your rank. This is how the company never loses its shirts. because it's always paid on what it can afford paying based on what the field contributed. It's brilliant. If the company turns around and makes $1 billion in sales a year, well, 75% in profit. Do the math, folks. That's a lot of hundreds of thousands and even millions of people getting paid. Do you understand? That's how you revolve. So this gets really, really interesting. And again, I want to bring you back here. 37% of the 75% the company pays to the compensation plan is paid in this fashion. Okay. So this here will evolve. And there's tier one and tier two. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, if you look at, let's see here. If you look at the compensation plan here, you remember that slide? And it's all part of this document that you can access from the back office.
Yeah, be sure to download that PDF document on the compensation plan to understand it. And once you start seeing these graphs, it all makes sense.
Mhm.
So I highly recommend to go through that.
So you see tier one, tier two. Well, look, a copper. What's a copper? What's someone wearing one on the left, one on the right? What's a silver? Well, a silver is you got one on the left, one on the right. And one of those people you brought in also became copper. Boom, you become a silver. You become a gold when you sponsor 5 people. Okay. And you have to have 3 people. That's basically what's going on over here. And that are coppers. Okay. So it's not the right slide to cover this, but the point here is I want to focus on tier 1 and tier 2. Now, what's happening here is the moment you become platinum, as a platinum, you sponsored 10 people. But you see what's cool? These 10 people will qualify you for platinum, sapphire, and emerald when it comes to the amount of people you sponsored. Okay. And now you move into tier 2. But the difference is the amount of coppers within your personal enrollment tree that qualifies. So this is where it becomes very nice, because now with the same business model, with the same team you just got to raise, because on tier 2, there's more money than tier 1. And this goes on all the way up to black diamond. But these, when you talk about generations and compression, we'll cover that a little bit later here. But to go back to, let's see here. Okay, to go back to the comp plan here, this is what I was referring to. Okay, so what's going on is that's the tier 1, tier 2. Now we're having the matching cycles. You need to be a sapphire. Okay, so what's a sapphire? Well, as a sapphire, what's going on, if you go back to the document over here, okay, you're in tier 2. And let me just go back to, hold on. I'm just going to find the right. There we go. And by the way, when you log into your back office, you see that list here. It's on the bottom when you look at your commissions. For example, I'm not going to go there, but when you click here and you go to your business and you click on your new rank comp plan, your new comp plan rank over here, when you click on that, you will see, oh, sorry. When you click on, so you go back to your business over here and you go down and you click on your new comp plan rank right over here. Okay. You will actually see that. Okay. You will see that list here. And this is important because it shows you what you need to qualify for. So as a bronze, you sponsor 1 person. As a copper, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. As a silver, you still have the 1 on the left, 1 on the right, but someone from your enrollment tree, from people you sponsored, became copper. As a gold, you sponsor 5. You see when I say platinum, you need 10? That's what I'm talking about here. All the way up to emerald, the 10 qualification here remains. But the difference is, you know, when we talked about the 4 steps, what we need to duplicate, you sponsor 1 on the left, 1 on the right, repeat it again, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Why do we ask you to do that? It's because this will qualify you on a minimum requirement all the way up to black diamond. You need to have 2 on your left and 2 on your right. Okay. The difference, that's happening over here, is the amount of people that are qualified as coppers. So what this means over here, and folks, you can read the details on your own, but what's happening here as a gold, you have 3 people that are qualified as copper. Okay. And from there, in fact, you have 1 person on 3 different enrollment tree. Again, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, we have other videos we'll point out to you. And you need a minimum of 25 people in your team. So when I explain on the compensation plan, and I go back to the left and on the right, and okay, and we go back on the board, and I'm telling you that you need to have, there's a few more qualification for you to move up the rank. That's what I'm referring to, is you need to have a certain amount of people in your team. That means duplications happening in your business. As a platinum, now you have your 10, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. But now there's 4 copper, but you need 40 people total in your team. As you move as a sapphire, same thing, but now you need 5. So if we recall, when we do the compensation plan over here, okay, that's where we're saying here. So what's happening is a sapphire, you need to have 5 people that are qualified as coppers, and you need to have your 10 people into your business. Now you start earning matching cycle. So when we talked about this, about you, well, if you use Tammy's example, let's say you brought in 20 people or 10 people or 5 people or 3 people, whatever. Well, whatever they earn in their cycle bonus, you will earn 25% if you're a sapphire, up to $1,000. Now, this is pretty cool. If you have a team member that is building an empire that's just running with this thing, and they could generate more than $1,000 for you, but you need to move up to an emerald. Okay, so what's the qualification to become an emerald? Well, as an emerald, you got your 10, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. But now there's 6 people in your enrollment tree, but there's a total of 100 people in your team. You see how this works? So as you move up into your ranks, then you're starting to benefit more and more, and there's more money allocated to you. Anything else, Tammy, that I know there's some posts that were here? I'm not sure if there's a question that needs to be answered.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some. I'm responding to some of the questions.
Okay.
And yeah, so one of them, let me see, Francis.
So this one over here, I'm still a bit confused with payout. If I sponsor 2 person as a copper, I know I will receive. Okay. So what you're talking about here is when you sponsor someone, okay, you get a fast start commission. That's the cab. Every time you sponsor someone, you get a commission from the sponsorship that you brought in.
Yeah, and it's the company's way, just so you know, you're going to get paid once up front. It's the company's way of thanking you for bringing that person into the business, either paying, they decide they're going to pay monthly in the business or they're going to pay yearly. It doesn't matter. You're going to get that commission, but it's not an ongoing commission. It's a one-time. And then it's about building out your network, right? So you get your first 2, and then we teach people to go and get a couple more. It's a business that's so affordable, you guys, and it's a product that everybody needs, that it's really a no-brainer. If you're not connecting with people, whether it's social media marketing or whether it's you run into somebody or you're going through your phone contacts, however way you network, it's your business, and you get to do whatever way makes sense to you and comfortable for you.
Yeah, let's answer this question, Tammy. We're running short on time.
Yeah.
So what's happening here is if you only have one person on your right, but there's nobody else underneath there, how many cycles you're going to get? Remember, you need 6 minimum. If you want to have 2 cycles, You need to have at least 8 on one side and 4 on the other. That's 2 cycles. So understand that if all you do is you brought 2 and that's it, you're going to get your cab, the fast start commission, but you're not going to get much in the residual aspect of things because there's no growth.
But
So those
imagine
that
if they
came
know
in,
what to do. If they know what to do, and their first goal is to get their 2 people. So there's 2 people aiming for their 2. You can see the numbers growing, and then the people that came in, if they're taught how to get their 2, you can see the power of duplication of 2. And if everybody's doing it over time, you guys, it compounds. And that's
correct.
how you got to see this business model. It's a
So
leveraged business model, but if you come in and don't do anything, and and write comments that are actually just uneducated comments, then it's that's what I'm saying is so many people are sold on you don't have to do anything,
yeah,
and it's
so let's move on
really,
to the next. So, and sorry, Tammy, for cutting in. We're down to 4
yeah,
minutes
I know,
before we
Chris.
end. So, what's happening is here the team building bonus, folks. Okay. So, what's happening is there's 7 ways to get paid. So, generation bonus, you need to understand that this occurs when you are a gold and above. We showed you how to become a gold. So, again, if you go back to the compensation plan and we go back here as a gold, you need 5, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and you need to have at least 3 that are in your enrollment tree. So if you go back to find the page and think over here. Okay, so that's going to be this one here. Okay, so what's happening is that if you're a gold, you get the generation. And when it comes to the generation bonus, I'm going to get to that slide. It's right over here. So what's happening here is you need you, and you need to have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you need to have at least 3 coppers. Okay, in separate enrollment tree. So if I keep moving forward, okay, here we go. So I know that may seem a bit overwhelming, but just pay attention to this. What's happening here as a goal is you pay 3 level down. So every time someone pays the $20 a month or the $10 a month, do the math, folks. If people are pros, it's a lot more. It's double the amount. And what's happening here is you get 2.5% from the $20 or the $10. So this here, if let's say there's 4 people between you and the next person that's gold, then that's 4 people that you're going to get the 2.5% of what they pay monthly. Even if they pay for the year, they qualify every month. Okay. Let's say there's no goals in your business and there's 100 people here. Well, that's going to get paid on 100 people. You see how this significant could become? And this is level 1. Level 2. So over here, there's 11 people. Let's say there's nobody who's gold from here and there's 200 people. What's 2.5% on 200 people that are paying $20 a month or $10 a month? This is what we're talking about when we talked about this bonus over here. That's generation bonus. And number 5, it's exactly like number 4, but the difference is it goes deeper into this. Just remember that. You don't need to fully grasp every details, but the fact is, instead of having 3 levels, it goes up to 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 9 levels. Folks, that could be, again, if this team grows and grows and grows, and there's tens of thousands of people over time, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, think of it as a retirement fund, and you keep plugging in, it compounds. That's where it becomes very attractive. Okay. So looking at this over here, which covered number 4, number 5, this is basically, again, it's like Pac-Man. If you remember the name in the 80s, maybe, right? It's like the little round face that keeps eating these little dots, right? Well, it captures all the 2.5% all the way down to the next qualification. Okay. And then the rank bonus pool, well, this one is really, really awesome. actually. So if we go back to here, and I think it's over here. Okay, that's the generation going down. And this dynamic compression, that's the dynamic compression I was telling you. As you move up in rank, you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into your genealogy. Okay, that's just more details explaining how this works. Okay, and this is the rank bonus pool. This starts appearing in your paycheck when you're sapphire and above. So as a copper, silver, gold, and platinum, you don't get that yet. But when you're sapphire and above, you start getting that pool. You'll notice a percentage. Okay. And it grows and it grows and it grows as you move up in rank. So it's like the company rewards you for reaching your rank and maintaining your rank. So it encourages people to make sure that they meet the minimum requirement. In other words, they don't just sit back and watch Netflix for the next 6 months, but they continue maintaining their team. They support their team. They do training. They invite people to come to the Wednesday presentation, the Saturday training to educate their team. So people are not walking dead, if you understand the expression, when in your business. They actually do something and not just sit back and wander around doing nothing. So the company rewards that. And that's the purpose of all of this. Okay. So it really becomes attractive as you keep moving forward here, folks. But I think it's important. And the leadership bonus, I'm going to leave that aside because this goes on. It's a bit more complicated. But again, you'll get it when you get there. It's just, again, it deals with percentage and based on how much people you have in your team on the left and on the right and everything else. It's absolutely awesome. It's a really, 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 really good compensation plan. So,
Yeah, Chris, one more, Francis. Yeah. So if somebody drops and later they want to reactivate in their account, once they reactivate, they're active again.
yes.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
if
another,
they're
yeah,
not qualified at a rank, obviously they won't get paid at that rank, right? So, yeah. So I hope that answers your question.
yeah. So the
And you're
fact,
going to have questions, you guys, along the way,
Mhm.
and go through the PDF document. In the extra promo tools, there's videos there. If you go to the YouTube channel of Global Virtual Opportunities, go through the Saturday training, click on the compensation plan trainings, because some of them are just compensation plan training detailed. Some of them are adding a little bit extra because brand new people are coming on board. They don't know where their links are. They don't know how to get support. So that's why we add that at the beginning now, to make sure that we attend to everybody who shows up to the presentations.
absolutely. So, folks, we hope that you got some good intel here today. And again, you saw there is many, 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 many trainings. If you want to succeed in GotBackup, folks, educate yourself. There
Mhm.
is power in knowledge, and there's so much there, more than you can possibly need. Take advantage of the information that's available to you, and let's start running with this thing. Once the next stage comes in with the social media tool that you'll have in your back office, folks, again, it's going to be a new game out there. Some of you are going to rock with this thing. Leads are going to be coming left, right, and center. They know exactly what to do. We got the trainings here to support them. We got the board to give them a getting start. There's nothing missing.
Yeah.
All it's
Nick,
missing
we
is
agree with you too. We think it's an extraordinary plan and it's fair. So, for people who put the efforts, it's really fair.
yeah. One of the main reasons I want to finish with that, where a lot of time network marketing company are failing and they're having a very hard time, it's because they're having the static amount. And it's wonderful when everything's in momentum, but when momentum drops like a rock on water that goes all the way down to the bottom, that its only mission is to go all the way up to touch the bottom to ultimate zero. Well, it's because they have these static amounts that will drain the company because there's no more production. Everybody's sitting back and waiting to collect, and nobody's producing. A comp plan that is based on percentage, that way, if the production reduces, then the amounts reduces.
Yeah.
It's common sense. You can't have a company that keeps putting out, putting out, putting out. Otherwise, they will be you're going to kill the golden goose, and there's no more opportunity. You're going to start all over again somewhere else. That's the reason why I love this compensation plan, because it is based on percentage, and it's not going to fail because it depends on the productivity of the people in the field. It's fair. But then again, 75%, it's quite a lot. So if the company becomes $1 billion corporation, do the math here, folks. That's a lot of people changing their lives. Okay. So listen, let's end on this note. We went 5 minutes over. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your wonderful comments, folks. And again, go back and listen and learn these trainings and educate yourself and become a master in understanding this. And you'll find that when you start sharing this with others, it's going to be a complete different game for you. Have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll see you on Wednesday evening.
Have an awesome weekend.
Bye for now.
Bye.